Hey, what's up? So, this video is about eating raw food in the wintertime. And so, I am on this raw food kick. This is my, I can't remember if it's like 5th time on a 100% raw food diet. But this time it's really coming along anyways. Probably 5 times. So the question is, well, what about in the wintertime? The questions have been answered. So I did this before. I've done this, like I said, 5 times and failed. I failed on a raw food diet. It did not work. I wasn't, but was it the raw food or was it something else? And so that is what we're getting into. So the point is, right now it is December. December 11th? December 11th today. And I live in Canada. I live in the Lower Mainland, the Vancouver area of British Columbia. So it's not the worst part of Canada in the wintertime, that is for sure. Nonetheless, I live in Canada and I am eating a 100% raw food diet right now. And I can tell you for a fact that cooked food plays zero role in keeping you warm. I mean, it is a comfort thing. I have been eating 100% raw for a while now, and the way that I would explain it, it's like if you need to survive in some sort of an environment, I suppose whether it's hot or cold, what do you think that the actual temperature of the food is going to contribute to your ability to thrive in that environment? And as far as I can tell, the answer is a whopping no. It is like, I guess how to say it. No. Okay, before I lose my train of thought, it's like, if you want to thrive, you want your body to work optimally, which means like your car, you don't want to put the wrong fuel source inside of your car or it will not perform as you may need it to, whether that's diesel or leaded or unleaded or, that's a long time ago, but like, what do you call it? Or like the different octanes, different vehicles have different requirements. And like, just saying, this one, as far as I can tell, it runs off of raw food. I mean, it's becoming so clear to me that this is what our bodies are designed, how they're designed to function, is on a very clean diet, a very light diet, a minimally processed diet, a fresh diet, an organic diet, a vegan diet. And so I've been eating like this, and it's like, I feel like I'm faring the weather better than I have ever in my entire life, because it's like, if you're eating things that are suboptimal, this is going to negatively impact your body's ability to cope with other factors that are contributing to, your overall health and well-being and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, of course you want to eat 100% raw food in the middle of winter. It makes perfect sense. And so I was really on the fence about this. The jury was out for the longest time, because like have been on a journey and I got to do things in my own way. I can't just take somebody's advice and just be like, oh, that's good enough. So there's this guy. He has a YouTube channel. His name is Lauren Lockman. He runs the Tanglewood Fasting Clinic down in Costa Rica. You can find people who love him, people who hate him. of course, just like me, right? And so, but time and time again, I keep coming back to this guy and what he shares about food, and more, it's just like this guy is on point. And so, like, if I ever share with somebody anything about diet, it is 100%. I just point them in his direction. Be like, I don't need to repeat. I could, put it in a nutshell. But if you need it explained to you over and over and over and over and over again, like some people do, like I did, right? Then it's a raw food diet and like nothing cooked. But it's like on the other side of this, I've heard from people who were very strict raw foodists for many years, so say 30 years, nothing but raw food. And then they decided to try eating a little bit of cooked food and see what happens. And you know what they said? Nothing. It didn't negatively impact any of their functionality or anything like that in any way that was noticeable at all. But I mean, by cooked food, I mean very minimally. I'm talking like some steamed kale or some beans that have been prepared properly, like soaked and like cooked in, in spices and stuff that helps with breaking them down and things like that, and helps with the digestion and stuff like that. I shouldn't say breaking down, like your body doesn't need help breaking things down. But so that's the thing, is it's like eating cooked food is just a choice. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. I have been only eating raw food because it's the heart of December and I wanted to make this video. And I could feel, because I was eating 100% raw for some days, and I could tell, I was just like, wow, it's funny how like you get in this mindset where like, oh, well, no, it's probably good to eat some potato, or these things like you gotta eat in some kind of a way, that will help you to survive. I mean, I do like, there's a thing, it's called the climate diet, sort of. It's like eat what's alive from the land, or the land will eat you alive. That is my phrase though, I said that. But that is the point. And it's like, yeah, it is true that if you eat things from the place where you're at, it helps your body kind of like climatize to the area it understands and whatnot. Yeah, like but here in Canada, it's not normal to live in this place in the wintertime. So hell yeah, I eat bananas and I buy passion fruits, granadillas, and I buy mangostino, and I buy a lot of different things that are not from here. But it's just like you gotta compensate a little bit, because I choose to eat a lot of raw food and raw fresh food as well. So right now it is orange season, so my primary source of sweet juicy fruit, always like to have at least one in my diet, always. It's my religion. Is oranges. Yeah, and they come from Florida or wherever, California, and so be it. And I gobble them up. I love it. I'm careful I don't brush my teeth anywhere time eating citrus fruits, because it can weaken the enamel on your teeth, and so you just have to be careful not to brush your teeth right after. You got to wait a few hours, but yeah. It's glorious. And there's apples right now. There's so much good fruit. I mean, yeah, I find myself, because I'm coming to this understanding, having gone the other direction and then come back and, tested the waters, and then, walked away, then come back, and now then I jumped in, and then I got out for a bit and I dried off, and now I've taken a submarine, I'm going deep. And it's like, yeah, I'm finding that it is, I'm making less and less cooked food, because it's just, I don't know. The way I look at it is just, it's like it's a comfort thing, and I don't need comfort anymore. I find that the biggest thing sort of challenge on this diet, because it is so different, is having sufficient variety. And so you really have to branch out and essentially make other things, like, without the dehydrator, because that thing made it so that I could have the element of breads and crackers into my diet. That's huge, right? It means salads. I don't know, it means guacamole chips. It means wraps. It means wraps. It means sandwiches. It means I make raw macaroons in there too. I made chocolate the other day, and having a food processor so that you can make these raw desserts. I have a container, just like old Nana Banana did when we were kids. We would always have this container. It would have like Nanaimo bars and stuff, and date bars and fig bars and all these kinds of things. Well, now I have one of these in my freezer that's full of all these tasty little treats. So, I don't even want anything from a store. It's because it's missing nutrition and it doesn't taste very good. It's just, and it costs too much. And I don't know that the person made it used the ingredients of inspiration and love and passion and joy, because those are a part of it, right? And I can tell when they're missing. And so it's really good. But that solves that, because it was certainly a big old question mark for the longest time, and it's nice to finally have the answer. And I'm not saying that it's easy to go raw. I will say it, like I said, it's taken me 5 times, so we're talking like 5 years at least, and that has included going through phases of body purification, cleansing, where stuff had to come out of my intestines, where my digestive juices, my digestive system needed to get stronger. Because if you eat just cooked food all the time, because that cooking, it breaks it down, it makes it soft and stuff, your digestion becomes weak. So like, I remember it was like, there was a time where it was like I couldn't eat apples. Like salad would go straight through me. I had to be really careful with avocados, like too much, and I would just have all this gas. It was like this raw food. It was just tearing up my insides. Now I don't have any of those problems. I can digest both cooked and raw food. I certainly lean towards the raw food, but it's pretty awesome. And I can see eating like this for the rest of my life. Actually, to dovetail, because I was thinking there's another video, honestly, all of this stuff, to get towards getting lighter and lighter diet, which is what Bashar recommends. He says the lighter your diet, contrary to popular belief, the lighter your diet, the more energy you'll have. And right now I have a thing where like I will come home and I will eat, and then as soon as I feel tired, I go to bed. Sometimes if that's 6 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, which means I'll be getting up at about 10 o'clock or something like that. And that's when I start my day. That was today, because I am super involved in like just things that need my attention. And that is where I have found time, is to kind of adopt a polyphasic sleeping pattern, which I do believe I have a video coming up about. But the thing is, it's like, okay, all of this is fine and dandy, this raw food, but is that the end all to be all? I don't know, because honestly, just to say it, what's on the horizon is inedia. Because if you get to this point where it's just like, okay, where food isn't about satiation anymore, it's not about comfort anymore, it's not about enjoyment anymore. Like, I really enjoy my diet. Every single thing that I eat, I love it. It's so good, but it costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time. So just imagine that you could stop all of that. You know, there's a large portion of my life that is dedicated to feeding this body in this way. But what if there was another way? And I already made a video about this called What is a Breatharian, where I tell people, it's like, you know, you don't believe me, go on breatharian.org and see what they say. You know, check out Jericho Sunfire, Google him, Inidia interview, or Elitom El Amin on YouTube. These guys, and a lot of other, there's all sorts of people that, you know, there's conventions. It's a thing. Sure, it's a little taboo for some people, but it's like, you have to decide what's right for you. And I don't know. I mean, it's very intriguing, just this idea that you could, and also it's not just that you could do it, that you will function better as a result of it, that it's going to have an effect that is, you know, like, because say like this raw food, as far as food goes, a fruitarian diet and a raw food diet, you're at the forefront. You know, you're doing, that's basically all that you can do to promote graceful aging and the body repairing itself and whatnot. So that's that level. The next level is Inidia, which is the science of not eating, which is a process that you go through where you inform your body, the cells, you know, that they have an internal energy source, that they can tap into another source of energy, just like the earth. It just keeps going, or like the sun, you know, it's not something that gets exhausted. It's something, you know, we are energy beings. So it's like, it is something, everything is energy, and on and on and on, you know, like on every cell, atom, like nuclear potential. I mean, it is. So if you can tap this resource, it's like, you know, if you don't want to, don't. But I mean, yeah, it's that's the next step. At least stuff to think about. I'm fine where I am. I'll ride this out for as long as I can until it doesn't make any sense for me anymore, and then I'll start looking at what I need to do in order to further refine my diet, whether that means cut, you know, different things out, or this or that, you know, because what I eat right now is, I do believe it's referred to as like a gourmet raw food diet, because I'm transitioning from eating all kinds of crap to this. And so it's like, because I have this expanded palate, I'm trying to slowly, it's like coming off of heroin. It's like, food is ridiculous. There's so many flavors and textures and stuff like that. So you need to wean yourself off, and through a gourmet food diet, but then getting towards more just like the mono meals, where it's like, yeah, you know, like say for example, yesterday I go to the gym a lot, so I do watch my protein. I have found that it is important for myself, because I work out and practice yoga. My body wants protein. I can tell. I get tired when I don't have enough. Some people don't have that experience. Some guys on the internet, you know, I've seen these dudes on YouTube and stuff like that, black guys, they're big muscular dudes, and they're like, oh, there's this one dude, watermelon dude, and he's just like, oh, everything's in your watermelon. It's just like, well, maybe for you with your like big muscles and stuff like that, right? And that does not work for me. Every time I don't pay attention to my protein intake, it has a detrimental effect on my energy levels and how quickly my body recovers from the stress that I put it under with yoga and going and my workout, my calisthenics routine. So yeah, I don't remember where I was going with all that, but yeah, I watch my protein. Oh yeah, you know what I was gonna say, what I eat in a day. It's like very little. You know, there are these things that say how much you're supposed to be eating, how much protein in a day, how much carbohydrates in a day. Well, yesterday I had, for breakfast, I had some oranges, like 5 mandarin oranges. And then for lunch, I had a couple of apples. And then for dinner, I had, it was like a piece of like a raw piece of bread, like that big, with half an so basically 1 avocado, 1 tomato, and some sprouts, and some almond, some raw almond cheese that I made. Yeah, so very small amounts, and I'm doing great, right? So yeah, when people try to tell you, it's like, oh, you have to like eat thousands of calories. It's like, I doubt I eat 500 calories in a day. And I'm a physical fitness instructor, right? I mean, and I go to the gym and doing like intense calisthenics workouts, a couple times a week. And I practice yoga like about twice a day, every day, at least once every single day, a lot of the time twice, because that's how you really get ahead, is in the evening. But every single morning for an hour, and I work a full-time physical job installing hardwood floors in people's houses. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, I'm just saying that this is working for me, and there's no I'm not there is no compromise. To me, the compromise is eating things that isn't biologically appropriate, which isn't energetically appropriate, and yeah, which are contributing to that aren't helping me. So that's, it sounds like a limitation, eating this way, but I tell you, it's not. The limitation is if you get sick. That's a limitation. Not having the energy that you need to do the things that you need to do, that's a limitation. Not being able to recover from the gym quickly and from deep stretching. Like I'm doing my splits right now, my Hanumanasana, my middle splits. It's hard on the body. I need to recover quickly. And so if I want to make sufficient progress, because like I said, I need to be making progress every day. It's like, I have one of these bodies where I have to move it a lot every day, or else it doesn't like it. It doesn't like to sit still. I'm not able to do that. It's not within my makeup. And so, yeah. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, there is no limitation there. It's just a different way of approaching food. Yeah, and it's good because it's like you're just, I don't know. It's good because you are, I don't know, eating healthy. So that'll do. That's enough for now.